Nice to meet you. Where are we? Right over there, right? Are they on the website? Oh. Yes, like
yeah, I would call him. He's our photographer, videographer, website person.
Okay. Well, I was. I'll get him for you, Shirley. Don't whip me.
I'm gonna. Now it's time for the fun part, and that's the ribbon cutting and the cake.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Lisa, are you heavy on one side? Where's Lisa at?
Thank you. The trail is officially open.
So I'm proud of all of the work that you have put in to make this project a reality. I know that it's been a long road and that it has taken a lot of commitment. You are an inspiration to other communities that want to bring trails to their area. I hope that you will share what you have learned with other groups so that we can continue expanding greenways into rural communities. Congratulations, and keep up the good work and enjoy.
Randy, you are with Ivy Tech in what way?
Ivy Tech, I'm the site manager for the Parke County Learning Center, which is our outreach site in Parke County in Rockville.
And how are you tied into the Covered Bridge Gateway Trail?
I'm on the board of directors and currently the vice president.
What have you seen develop in that time?
This trail we're sitting on, truly, because when I got here, this was still, it was a design, it was a vision, it was a hope, and since last year when I got involved with this group, it's gone to fruition. I mean, they've gotten the money, they've gotten the contract, the contractors come in and done what we see here to this. They actually finished it around October of last year, so it was available for people to use. We wanted to wait until the spring to have this sort of a public awareness ribbon cutting and grand opening when we knew the weather would be nice and folks would come out. And we're hoping that this will really get the word out about the value of trails like this in the county so that we can continue what the group has been trying to do for 6 years to expand this all the way from the county line at Vigo County, Lambert Road, just south of us here, about a half a mile, all the way up to Turkey Run State Park.
Wow, I hope that all comes out.
Yeah, that's the long-term plan, right?
I bought this property probably 20-some years ago for a playground for my boys when they were growing up. And my youngest boy middle boy wanted to buy the house. And so we brought the property, and through time and everything, he ended up, after a presentation up here at the Civic Center, donated this property to the Gateway Trail Association. So looking back on the time that when I bought this property, I never would have imagined that it would one day look like this.
The average time it takes to get a trail on the ground in this country is 7 years. You folks have beat that by a goodly amount. This is a testament to the really good people of Parke County and to Ed Allen and all the other volunteers of the Covered Bridge Gateway Trails Association. Thank you so much for everything you have done for trails and greenways in Indiana, and more specifically for your beloved Parke County. What you have done will be a game changer for each of your communities in terms of improved health and the improved tourist economy, which is so important to this area. One of the things I say to communities when I talk with them around the state is that our railroads always carried commerce. We took them out of service for a while. They carried goods and services and people from place to place and point to point and made communities economically viable. Today, when we don't have those economic engines within our community, it really does hurt. When we put one of these trails back in shape, as a rail trail, it again carries commerce. And what I say to people is this: the commerce and the goods that are carried on these trails are frankly a small plastic card in someone's hip pocket that they use at your restaurants, that they use at your hotels and motels, that they use at your filling stations, wherever they can spend money in your community because of the trail it's going to help the community. It's a thing that revitalizes communities all over the state. And any community that doesn't have a volunteer group like Parke County has had is sorely lacking from the standpoint that they may not get one of these arteries back into service. You folks have taken advantage of it, and again, I thank you so much for all the work that each of you have done to help make this come to fruition. It's been a pleasure working with everybody here in Parke County on this project, and I look forward to continuing to work with all of you. Thank you again.
So what were the first steps that you as a board, you and the board did to begin the process?
The process really, I mean, it started from the very ground level. It started with looking at property, looking at private property. It looked at some of the property that the Department of Natural Resources owned and trying to connect those properties. In this case right here, Justin Montgomery was heavily involved in donating this section of trail.
That's your son?
Yes,
Justin.
my son. Yes, my middle son, Justin. And it connects to some of the property that the Department of Natural Resource owns. So it was logical that we would have almost a mile of trail here with what he was going to donate and what we already owned to start the initial part of the trail. But, you know, we had to go through grants, donations from local businesses, volunteer hours that was involved there. There was a lot of, you know, on the surface it doesn't look like a lot of stuff is going on. It does take time, but, you know, we're like that duck in the water. It looks like we're pretty calm on the surface, but we're just paddling our little heinies off to try to get things done.
Your name is?
Stephen Blaine.
Stephen Blaine. Your name is?
Dick Bauman.
Cliff Kunze.
Mary Blaine.
Mary Blaine. I've talked to everybody else, but no, I haven't talked to you.
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Now, just sort of reminisce, if you will, but I'll just say, how did you get involved?
My wife volunteered me. That's the truth. That's how it started out for me. But no regrets at all.
How did you get involved?
My wife was involved before I was, and I was a pretty avid cyclist, and then she had gone to some meetings and said that there's probably something I'd be interested in.
And when did you get involved?
I'd say
what year?
3 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
It's probably been longer than that, though.
Probably
Would have been
2010.
2010?
I bet it
okay.
has been. Yeah.
See how time flies when you're having fun.
How did you get involved and when?
My wife and I got involved volunteering for some of the SAG stops on the Bike the Bridges a few years ago, and it just kind of grew from there.
And are you a cyclist?
We are, yes. We are cyclists.
Okay. How did you get involved?
I got drug into it by my wife. Actually, I got tired of sitting on the porch and saw that this was a good opportunity to give a little back. So that's why.
Giving back to the community. That's
right.
a big part of it, and I congratulate you all for working on that. How did you get involved?
My mom and dad.
A lot of drafting going on.
What have been some of the high points, besides today, and some of the more challenging times?
The high points is the bike ride we have, the yearly bike ride that we have. I enjoy that. Some of the high points have been people bringing good news to us about acquiring some property and stuff. And also, they had done, a lot of that work was done before I got involved. And so we have some go-getters that are out there doing what needs to be done.
You folks motivate us because you use the trail every day. This fall, on October 3rd, CBGTA will be hosting its annual fundraiser, Bike the Bridges Fall Challenge, a 100-mile bicycle ride through scenic Parke County, which will start at the historic Chautauqua Pavilion at Beechwood Park in Rockville.
We are looking at several different things
Tell me, what are the several different things?
Well, there's a lot of options. So it just depends on how the chips fall, what happens first. One of the things is to go north from Rosedale. We own about 2 miles north. We have to get a bridge to cross Big Raccoon, and we need to acquire one property, and then we'll have about 2 miles. Another project that we would love to work out is out of Rockville, coming south. We own from the food pantry to what they call Airport Road, which is about a mile. We'd like to acquire just a little more property to get from the depot, which is right on 36, the old railroad depot, acquire that property and to adjoin what we already own, and then we'd have a couple mile. So that's a second one. We would love to finish this trail, get it connected to the Park Vigo line, which is Lambert Avenue, just about 5/10 of a mile after the end of this one. We'd like to really do that because then Terre Haute has in their plans to come north to meet us. So the city of Terre Haute is responsible to get to Marco Mill Dam, and then the county is responsible to get from Marco Mill to meet us at the Park Vigo line. So that's 3. We have a huge section, which is kind of in the middle, but we have some neighbors that live in that area that would love to see that done, and that's about a 2-mile section from what's called Pipeline Road to the little burg of Jessup. Again, we need another bridge there to cross Little Raccoon, but we own all of that. There's about 40 property owners between Rockville and here that own little pieces or slightly bigger pieces. So to complete the entire trail, we need to approach a lot of property owners. But because we have big sections already that we already own, that's where we'll concentrate first.
It's been different. It's been different. It's given back to the community, and I got involved because of Rosedale. I mean, I was born and raised here. I didn't know I was going to move away. I got involved because I knew it could be a benefit to the community, and my children and my grandchildren. And I think that's what drives us. It's one of the there's a vision out there that you have to have.
I grew up in Parke County, and after I graduated from high school, I moved away and lived in northern Indiana for about 35 years, and I wanted to come back home. So when I came back home, I wanted to do something for Parke County, and I had moved back in 2005, so I'd been kind of looking around for about 4 years of something that I really wanted to do. And when this opportunity came up, I said, that's it. That undoubtedly will help Parke County in so many ways.
If I can make a suggestion, building off what we were talking about while you were all gone, if all of you would write down your own resume or a page or two of what you've done and a picture and hang it up in the railroad station, and because all of you are the pioneers on this, and what we're discussing now will go into a video, but go into our archives about trail development, sort of the jigsaw puzzle of how trails come about. But you all have contributed something. Everything you're talking about now, if you write down sort of whether you've been a lifelong member or you moved into town, whatever, or you got involved with wives or families, but what you've done, because what you have done is literally put down the foundation for the trail, and it'll now it's going to take years to get all of this stuff connected There'll always be some holdout, but it will come about, and I commend you all for what you've done. Keep the goal out there. Don't get discouraged too much, or when you do, go walk a mile or a half mile. Walk out and back, that's a mile. Relieve the tension, but write down a brief bio and just put it in the station, because there is protection from weather. It's there, and then as different things happen, you can have a bench or something with your name on it, but a bench with a name is important, but it doesn't tell the whole story, and I like a page or two of what the whole story is. So, and several pages from each of you will make a larger complete story about how this all got going.